Everybody get set first before we start plugging away on you. Good go.
Jack, what are your expectations for preseason camp, just on how you think the competition will go? Not what the result will be, but just how it'll be handled, how you'll feel, how the coaches will handle it. Just what's your vibe of how it's going to be like?
Yeah, so far I think it's been really good. I feel like the coaches have handled it pretty well. Really just going out there every day, trying to get better and trying to grow as a leader on the team, and yeah, just really going out there trying to get better every day.
Does it feel like the kind of things that you've gone through before in high school, or any time competing for a job, or how does it maybe feel different than that?
I mean, it's a little bit different when you're competing against guys who are really talented, and I mean, we're all talented, but yeah, everybody's super good, and we're all good friends, and it's going to be fun to see how it turns out.
What has Coach Dennis or Coach Day or anybody talked about, how the reps are going to be split early in camp or anything, or do you have any specifics on how it'll go?
No, not yet.
Okay.
What are they looking for? Have they led you? I mean, what are they specifically with you do they want to see?
I think they're just looking for a leader and a guy who can really embrace the whole team, and I feel like they care a lot about production as well. I mean, you got to go out there and produce at the end of the day. That's the biggest thing. Production, I would say.
How's that going for you?
I think it's good. I mean, I've gotten so much better since I've been here. I feel like, it's kind of hard not to get better, though, when you have such good receivers and such a good old line. And, the coaching is just so next level. It's crazy.
Sorry if you already answered this, but what sort of things did the coaching staff tell you after the spring game that you really need to kind of work on and focus on over the next couple months?
Really just coming in and spending a lot of time in the film room, and really just all that extra effort that goes into being a quarterback at a high level, and just developing, continuing to get better every single day.
Is there anything specific, maybe with footwork or throwing motion or anything?
Yeah, no. Just really working hard and coming in and getting better every day. It's the biggest takeaway.
How different do you feel you are as a quarterback from when you stepped on campus at Ohio State until right now?
I feel a lot different, to be honest. Just being with Coach Day over the past 2 or a year and a half, I guess you could say. You feel like you develop so much, but there's still a lot of developing to go. But yeah, I feel much better as a quarterback than I did when I first got here.
How would you describe the mental part of it, the understanding of what you want to do, of what a defense is trying to do to you? Where were you as a high school quarterback, and where are you now?
I think I'm way better at all that stuff than I was in high school. You come in, like I said, with great coaches like this. It's going to be hard not to develop like that.
Everybody says development. What's the specific? Is it footwork? Is it how do you work on the mental side? All those things. What is development?
I think it's everything combined. It's really a lot of the mental side. Everybody can throw a football. It's more so, do you know where you're going with the ball? Do you know what the defense is going to do, and all that type of stuff, and being comfortable with the playbook.
What about
personal goals you have for yourself during this fall camp?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What are some personal goals you have for yourself during this fall camp?
Just to go out every day and just try to get better and grow as a person and grow as a leader on this team.
What does that look like? How do you go about it?
Just coming out every day with the same energy and same type of mindset, and not getting tired, not getting exhausted throughout the days, and coming out every day and trying to get better.
How about throwing the ball? Are you pretty similar as a thrower compared to when you got here? Or is there anything that's changed about your motion, or just if you got physically stronger, did anything change? What's the deal there?
Yeah, I would say I've definitely gotten stronger since I've been here, and my throwing motion hasn't changed a whole lot. Maybe just here and there, maybe shortening it up a little bit. That's what I've been working on. Getting quicker, more twitchier, I guess you could say. That's pretty much it.
If you are physically stronger, how does that translate to when you're throwing the ball?
I think it's more so with fatigue and your shoulder getting tired, for example. I haven't experienced get my shoulder getting tired since I was in high school, because Coach making the strength staff gets us all pretty strong, so no worries there.
Jack, what was last season like? It wasn't a normal football season, but at the same time, you're preparing for games each week. I presume you and CJ were splitting the reps at the backup. Just what was that whole experience like for you last year?
It was a crazy experience for sure. I mean, it was definitely the weirdest football season of my life, but I feel like I grew a lot learning from Justin every day and learning from Coach Day. It's definitely a really good experience.
If you had, I mean, we saw you get out there, score the touchdown early. You didn't get to throw it. If say it would have been a normal season and you would have gotten a couple series here in the second half, a couple series there, how would that affect where you are now? We talk a lot about that, right? Hey, these guys didn't get to throw a pass in a real game. Does that matter, or does it not matter then?
No, I don't think it matters. I mean, when you come out and you get a ton of reps during practice, I mean, I feel like the game is just like practice, to be honest. It doesn't really change anything.
It's been a wild couple days. What was your reaction to Quinn Ewers coming in and just your takeaway on that?
Yeah, we're just focused on the guys that are here right now and focus on fall camp and play Minnesota week 1.
Do you know when is he here? When does that?
Yeah, I don't know anything about the situation.
You haven't seen him?
No.
Has anybody reached out to him in the quarterback room?
No, I don't, not that I'm aware of. At least I don't think we're allowed to yet. But yeah, I haven't got any information on that.
What was your reaction to the news today about the sales and just this first month of NIL?
I think it's awesome. I think it's great that we're finally moving in a direction where guys can make money off of their own name, image, and likeness. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's awesome.
Have you had any opportunities so far?
Yeah, I've had a few opportunities. None that are public yet, but pretty soon they will be. So yeah.
Jack, what's it like to be in this competition with 3 guys and it's about to become 4 guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we all push each other every single day, and I think this is how you get the best out of yourself, is being in a competition like this with guys that are just as good as you. And yeah, I think it's how you get better.
In what ways do you feel like the competition is pushing you, is making you better?
I mean, every day there's no room for error, to be honest. I mean, you go out there and you might mess up, and I mean, you're coming off the field and they're putting the other guy in. So every single day you got to be on your game and no room for error.
Do you feel like pressure, like, hey, I've got to win this job now. This might be only the best opportunity that I have?
No, not at all. I mean, I feel like obviously my goal is to win the job, but I mean, we're focused on getting better every day and going up there and beating Minnesota week 1.
How has the competition made you better?
I feel like it's really helped me grow as a person. I mean, when you're going up against the same guys every day, I mean, you have to learn to embrace them and treat them as your brother, because they are your teammates, and whatever's best for the team that's what it's going to come down to. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they're your teammates, and you got to embrace them.
What's it like when they're making you better, you're making them better, and you're also competing against them?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. I mean, like Coach Day told us in our meeting, I mean, he said you guys are going to want to not like each other, but the most successful teams here, I mean, you guys know the national championship team, you guys used all 3 quarterbacks. So, I mean, yeah, I just think everybody's going to play a role.
How much of a command of the offense do you think you have now? Do you think you have it?
Yeah, I think so far I've learned pretty much the ins and outs of it, and I'm getting pretty comfortable with it. I feel like after last spring I was able to develop a lot and get a lot better.
How long does that take?
It took me probably a whole year to get comfortable with it, be able to feel like I could go out there and actually like know what I'm doing.
So could a freshman come in and learn it in 2 weeks?
I mean, I think it's definitely a possibility, but you never know.
When you said
at all?
No, I don't.
when you said Coach Day talked to you guys in your meeting about like, hey, you're going to want to not like each other, but was that just a quarterback meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that something that coaches need to put out there, just the reminder of like, you're trying all for the same job.
Yeah.
There's going to be competition, but yet your teammates. I would imagine that can be a hard balance to strike.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that like, and what have they talked to you guys about?
I think it's never really been too hard of a balance for us. I mean, we're all 3 pretty close, and we've always been pretty close. But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely like something that needs to be discussed and reminded of, that you guys are all teammates. Like, there shouldn't be any bad blood or any like rivalries between the quarterbacks.
Jack, you pay attention to
Is it
social.
okay to have a rivalry on the field, though, the competitiveness?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think you definitely have to have a level of competitiveness on the field for sure. But at the same time, I mean, that is your teammate, and he is on your team, and you gotta treat him like that. So,
Jack, you pay attention to social media. Coming out of the spring game, a lot of people kind of like had a pecking order of CJ, Kyle, and then you and stuff. And I'm just wondering, have you ever been told there's any pecking order? I mean, what's it been like?
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really go on social media a whole lot, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't really know. But yeah, in this building though, no, there hasn't been a pecking order.
And how do y'all approach that? I mean, do you feel like y'all are all walking in there, number one, number three? How do you approach it?
We're all walking in there for the same thing. I mean, we all want to start, and we're just trying to get better every day. Trying to go beat Minnesota week 1.
Jack,
Even if you didn't pay attention to any of social media, texting or whatever, like we only have maybe one day to evaluate you out
Yeah.
of 15. Is that frustrating? I don't think the spring game is probably something you felt like was your best day.
No, yeah, no, of course not. I mean, I wouldn't say it was frustrating because I know myself. I mean, I know I got way better during the spring and throughout those 15 practices. So for me, I mean, I went out there and I wouldn't call it a bad day, but I mean, it definitely wasn't my best. So, I mean, yeah, but I knew what I had done that spring. So,
I just wonder, like, if it was the last one, it was one that most people saw, like, as a quarterback, if it stays in your mind and you thought about it the last couple of months, or if you just, you know what, it was one day.
I flushed it. I mean, it's gone. I mean, yeah, it's gone.
Jack, you guys are all